everybody and welcome back to a new video here on FKJ Books. Today I'm going to be doing my monthly Waterstones Book of the Month review and announcement for May's book. I'm sorry this is a little bit late this month. Usually I do get them out in the first couple of days at the start of each month, but I am a little bit behind. April's book was The Girl of Ink and Stars, so this is the one that I'm going to be talking about and reviewing today. This is by Kieran Millwood Hargrave, hopefully that's how you say it. And firstly I will say this is a beautiful looking book. Everything about this book visually is really beautiful, and I actually owned this book before it was announced for the Book of the Month, because last year in May this was the Waterstones Children's Book of the Month. However, this year in April they announced this book as the Waterstones Children's Book for the year. So I had pretty high hopes for this book, and upon reading the synopsis I felt like this was completely something for me, and I thought I was going to love this book. And I read the first 2 chapters and I was like, yes, I am going to love this, I cannot wait. And then things kind of took a turn and I ended up really not enjoying this book at all, and I kind of felt sad about it. I was like, oh, like why has this happened? So, you know, maybe when I had a quarter left, I thought, you know, I want to look up some reviews. I looked up some after I read it too, because obviously some you can't look up till you've read the book, because you don't want to give too much away. So I looked at some reviews on Goodreads, and I feel like this is a very Marmite book. It has some really fantastic 5-star reviews, and obviously people do really like it. Like I said, it's the Waterstones Book of the Year, and it has some great 5-star reviews, but then and there was kind of some of those at the top, and then as I kind of went further down I found a lot of 2 stars and 3 stars and some 1 stars, and there was a whole, it wasn't just like a couple, there was like a whole bunch, but there was also a whole bunch of 5 stars, so there was a real big amount of lower ratings, and I kind of found myself falling into that category. And I felt like I agreed with a lot of the reviews, because some of them said, you know, I really thought I was going to love this, the idea is everything I wanted, but it just didn't work for me. And that's what happened for me, unfortunately. So basically this is about a girl named Isabella, and she is the daughter of a cartographer, which sounds so cool. You know, he obviously makes maps and all cool stuff, and she's really interested in that. And she has a best friend called Loop. And upon a murder happening in the place where she lives on an island, and her friend Loop ventures into the Forbidden Territories to try and be brave and to look for the people who committed this murder, which again sounds amazing to me. I'm like, yes, I'm on board. And basically Isabella and some others have to go after Loop and try and rescue Loop. That's kind of the basic premise. There's a lot more to it. I think my main problem with this book is it's quite short. It's about 213 pages, I think, and I felt like they crammed so much into this tiny book that it just made it like this thing, next thing, this thing, next thing, next thing, this thing, and I felt like it was just there was too much jumbly for me. I wanted this to be a bit more drawn out, a bit more space. Even maybe 300 pages might have just given it that room to breathe a little bit more. I felt like that's the problem I had with this book. I also felt like I couldn't really connect to the characters, because there was always so much going on, but also I found that even though there was so much going on, which sometimes might be a good thing, I just could not at all envision hardly anything, and I found that so hard, because I'm such a reader who loves to envision everything, and I really get sucked into a world and imagine the whole thing. I could barely see anything when I was reading this, and I found that really, really hard. I felt like that was a real struggle. It kind of felt like for me when you read a page and your mind was trailing, and then you have to reread the page, and I don't do that too often. If I do, I usually put down my books. I know I'm obviously thinking of other things, and I thought, well, I'm not doing that. I knew I was really trying to concentrate on the book, really trying to read it, and I just couldn't just imagine it. And it wasn't a hard book to read. I felt the writing was actually very beautifully written. I felt the writing style was beautiful, which is kind of conflicting and confusing, because then is it the writing that helps you envision? I don't know. I don't know what my main problem was with the book, but also I thought maybe the end was redeem itself a little bit, and it just didn't. It kind of went the other way for me. So I gave this book 2 stars. I think that the reason I gave it 2 stars is that I did like the idea of the plot. I just wish it could have had a little bit more room to breathe, a little bit more world building, and maybe a little bit more to know some of the other characters more. I don't want to go too much into it, but I did like the idea of the plot, and I did like Loop as a character actually quite a bit, and I really, it's kind of, I don't know, sometimes I loved the writing style. There's some quotes in this book that I could just take and would really love, so it's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain that. Like some parts, like some lines, I was like, oh, that's a brilliant line. So it's kind of a weird one, but I really just didn't enjoy it. I found myself, I couldn't wait to just finish the book, and now I'm glad, you know, I finished the book and it's over. I don't have to read it anymore. It was kind of that kind of thing. So I really didn't enjoy this one. It has been my least favourite. So that is Girl. I mean, again, if you haven't read it, definitely look at reviews, because there's some amazing reviews and there's some not amazing reviews, and it's very mixed. So you might enjoy it immensely. I just personally didn't. So that's that one. Now, I wanted to say in this video though, what's interesting, I obviously really didn't enjoy that book, and then I found out I happen to have another book by the author, and this one's The Island at the End of Everything, and again, it's so beautiful, and the story sounds amazing. Again, this sounds like something I'm gonna love. Luckily though, this one is quite a bit longer. This one's about 240 so pages, so I'm wondering if this will just be a bit better for me. And again, I think I actually like the theme of this one a little bit more. I'm really hoping that it wouldn't be the author that I don't like, but maybe just this book. I hope that I do enjoy this one, so I will be keeping hold of this one and trying to give the author another go. So yeah, if anyone's read this one, I'd love to know your thoughts. And I did look up reviews of this one. Now, this one's actually pretty new, and this one's only had good reviews, only had brilliant reviews, 4 and 5 stars. It's had no bad reviews at all so far, so I feel like maybe, you know, obviously this was a debut novel as well, so maybe the second book has corrected some of the things that I had problems with and other people might have had problems with, and really, you know, this one might be really good. So I'm really hoping that is the case, and I am looking forward to reading this one, which is kind of weird considering I really did not like this one. I want to see how this one goes. It'll be interesting to see. So that is the April book of the month. So after April's, I was kind of, I don't know, kind of not too excited about May's. I was kind of and then May 1st came around and I found out what May's book was, and I could not have been happier no matter what it was. And May's book of the month is Letters from the Lighthouse by Emma Carroll. Now, I read Frost Hollow Hall by Emma Carroll this year, and it was one of my favourite books of the year, if not maybe my favourite book of the year. I loved it. Everything that I envisioned was just fantastic. She took me to that world and that time period. I'm pretty sure it was set in the 1800s. I can't remember the exact kind of date. And I just completely fell in love with it. I loved the characters. I loved everything about it. It was fantastic. I will definitely reread that book in the future. I highly recommend it. So since then, I have known I want to read everything by Emma Carroll. I just knew it. And I have one of her other books in my TBR, so I was like, right, okay, until I read the other book that I've got, I won't pick up any of her other books. So I nearly just wanted to buy them all, but I just thought I'll go through them. And then, luckily, I was able to get her newest book because it was the Waterstones Book of the Month for May. And I was so happy, and this cover is beautiful, and it just looks so interesting. And I haven't read the back, so I'm sorry I can't tell what it's about, because I just want to go into this blind, because I know that Emma Carroll is fantastic and she's an amazing writer. This one is set in 1941 though, so she's kind of historical fiction for obviously middle grade, but her books are brilliant. Anybody could read them. My mum's interested in reading Frost Hollow Hall. She's going to be reading that, and just, yeah, I'm so excited to read another Emma Carroll book. And actually what's interesting is she actually blurbed this one on the back here, so that was kind of weird, but I know a lot of people do enjoy that one. I feel like it might have been just me and obviously a few other people, so it must be to do with reading taste, but I know Emma Carroll I love, so I'm hoping I will completely fall in love with this one as well. I'm sure there's a good chance this is going to be my favourite book of the month club so far, because like I say, Emma Carroll is brilliant. So yeah, that was April's book and May's book. Cannot wait to read May's book. Super duper excited. So excited. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you read this book? What do you think of it? I'd love to know also if you read The Island at the end of everything. And, you know, do you like Emma Carroll? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!